Okay, so this is a third video in a series of 6 videos over a very fundamental approach to a kick, a strike, and like some type of a control, and then a throw. So why there's 6 videos, there's 4 throws in each video. It's just a good way to learn what the throw is, maybe a name for it, in a very basic way to kind of tie these things together. And if you're curious about Squat Chow, or you want to maybe start practicing it, maybe you live somewhere where there's not somebody that teaches it, or you're looking for maybe you do something else and you want to start combining like your kicks and your strikes with something. This is a great way to start. Just very fundamental approach, very basic. If you want something that's more complex, those are the videos that I have that will be more detailed over the throw, or more complex aspects of combining kicks and strikes, and offensively or defensively or as a counterattack. So purely all of these are going to be just an offensive action. Very basic, a low line kick, some type of a strike, just purely to set it up, and then a grab to it. So the first throw we're going to do is called rubbing, or rub down. And I made a video recently that covers this movement with quite a few additional throws. The movement itself can become a takedown, and that's what we're going to film today. I do want to reiterate some of the things that I said in that video, and I'm just going to this side. So as it relates to this movement, the foot looks like this. If you see my foot and my knee, they're in a line, right? This is in a line. So when I do this action, I'm going to apply energy forward, right? I'm going to go this way into the person's leg. There's 2 or 3 ways that people will do this, and they won't get a lot of effort out of it. So one is they will have this attachment, and then they'll put the foot down without transferring energy forward, and then they'll push with the leg. Okay? Others will do it like this. We'll do it on this side so it makes more sense. They will be like this, but then they'll put the ball down and raise the heel, and then they'll try to push into it. And a third way is they will be like this, and they'll have this connection here. They will push the foot down, and they'll start pushing forward with the leg, but then they will push into the knee, like this. It's not that this won't work, but you kind of take away some of that forward energy, and also, too, if I did it like this, they end up like this. It's hard to pick the foot back up. Versus if I have my leg like this, it's so much easier for me to pick my leg up, right? Even if I push into it this amount, right? I can still pick the leg up. But if I drive real far out, right, and I've transferred the weight kind of into my knee, it's harder to maintain the leg. So if you think if you were going to do this action and you were going to use it as a setup for another throw, if you pushed all of your force into this and he pulls it out, you're going to have to take some of the weight off, to move, to be able to potentially do that. If I do it from here and I keep everything upright and he pulls it out, see, it's easier for me to go for the movement. I'm not saying that shifting weight into the knee is not an effective movement, but shift first. In other words, don't do this and then shift the knee first. Shift the weight of the leg, and then if you feel like you still need more, then apply the knee. Okay? In this particular throw, though, or takedown, I'm going to keep moving forward, and I'm going to step through with the back leg. And so we're going to do, again, it's the basic setup. So I'm going to do a side kick, a back fist. I'm going to switch, and I'm going to go to control this elbow, its head. I'll shuffle in. I'm going to hook the leg, and then I'm just going to apply forward. And just don't fall over. If he's like this, as I'm pushing this through, I would end up taking a step, right, as I'm applying this pressure to move him down. Okay? So if he does the setup to me, back fist, he switches, he grabs the elbow, and he goes to rub, right, and he would just step on through the other leg, and I would fall off to the side. again, I'm going to apply forward. Try not to do it this way, right? I want the energy to go forward. And you see how long I make it. So if I make it really long and I've got that good connection, I can really get that bend without me overextending the leg. Okay? Just it to me again. All right. Step through. When we do it on the mats, same thing, right? There's a side kick, a back fist, and a switch, right? Step in, and this is here. As I apply pressure, I'm going to step through with this leg. And I try not to put my patella on the ground. I don't drop my knee. I'm going to try to slide up so I maintain pressure on his thigh. I'm trying to support myself, my weight over here on this leg. This is painful. If you put the weight into it, and you can do it with the shin or with the base of the knee like this. You can end down here on his leg too, but I try to move up the leg so I end up here, so I've got a little more closer connection to him. If you're doing squat jowl, a good throw for competition. If you're doing something like MMA, this would be a great move for you too to take a guy down and to be able to work him from here if you wanted to do that. Me, if I was utilizing this again, I'm going to put my knee on the ground. So he does it to me. Switches, rolls it through and steps. And when he goes down, again, he can put the knee down, or if he just slid up on the leg, so you can be like this. And if he just transfers his weight over, this is very painful. It can be. And look at the difference. Like I said, if you're doing something, of some other style where you want to grapple with the guy, this could be a great movement for you to be able to get him on the ground and then be able to go for your positions and then your controls and your submissions. So the next one is picking, and I'm going to use somewhat that same rubbing action. Really, in theory, it's more like the leg component for leg seizing. I could be like this with a foot flat. If I leave the foot flat, just to be able to sweep the guy's leg and pull it up. Me personally, I prefer to leave it this way though. So if he goes to escape it, it's easier for me to try to hold on to it. A lot of times if I leave it flat, if I was leaving it flat, it's because I want to pull it out like this. So a good move, but so I'm going to do this picking. Look, again, I'm going to line my knee up with it, right? I'm going to be this way, and I would roll it this way, and you see as his foot rolls out, you would reach down, you're going to grab it. And then I'm going to slide it up my leg as I do it like this. So again, we're going to use a fundamental setup, a kick, switch, and I come inside, hook the move, and look, where the rubbing I was facing more here at 11, I'm more over here at 9 or 10. The angle is different. And again, I would pull this under and push this as I rub this and then catch it. Right? I did the whole piece, kick. It's just to get contact, right? Switch, hook, and then I'm pushing this way, and I pull this under, I push this forward, and as I rub it, I catch it. He does it to me. Right, so look, he's going to pull this under, and he's going to, he's using like a neck control, right? And he wants to think he's pulling his elbow to this hip, and he's pulling this across, right? So he's kind of crossing, and as he rubs the leg, right? He'll reach down, he's going to pick it, and he's going to go for the side of the foot, right? And so as he scoops it up, he keeps pushing here, and so the leg ends up sideways, right? So if you did it from this side, he rolls it, and he catches it this way, right? In the other video, I'm talking about this. Pull it up, please. It's harder for me to put weight in this, right? If he grabs it from the heel side, I can put weight in it, right? it's harder, like grab the side of the foot. So it's almost like you're cupping the foot. It's harder for you to put the weight in. In actual reality, you just push it down into your own hip. We're not talking counters and other things like that. But once he gets the leg, he would push me over to the side, right? So if we do it on the mats, same thing, right? Just a basic setup. I come in and again, I'm going to push this across, pull this way, right? And as I go to rub it and it rolls out, just grab the leg, right? And again, you can easily go down with the guy in the sport of squat jump. If you're doing squat jump, you know the objective is to stay on your feet and the other person on the ground. I mean, you could utilize this maybe in the sport of Sanda that we do, or anybody that does Kung Fu that does combat sport. I would say that for a mixed martial art competitor, this could potentially be a good move. Maybe not with this setup, but just from a tie up and rolls the guy's leg and he pulls it under. It could be maybe functionally a good movement for him. So he does it to me again. He kicks, and then he pulls this across. He pulls this across the other way, and he's got his foot up and he's got connection to me, right? And as he rolls this down, he's going to squat to reach down to grab the side of my foot. And he pulls it up, yeah, like this. Yeah. It's like that, right? And so what I mean by, so let's say I come in here and I roll this down and I catch it. This is a good move for you to maybe come to the guy's side or you can go up the front, but use that, you've got that control, use it, moving so you can maybe come to the side on him. Again, this video is just purely an overview of these. Some of the other videos are more detailed over the specific throw. I'm just giving you the name, the fundamental idea in this video. So our next one is lower body control. If you watch any other videos I had, I'm talking about 4 controls and 5 legs. This is basically relates to that. So lower body control is the waist area, right? And there's actually more than just the ones with we'll say with the different legs. You can call this hip throw or a variety of things, right? But if you think about the position, right? Just like if you were grappling on the ground, you have a mount, you have a guard, you have a side mount, you have north-south, you have all of these positions, right? And that's all we're talking about in this way, right? Lower body control, controlling the waistline. There's upper body control, right? Underhooks, overhooks, or arm circling. It's the same fundamental things, just different terminology. So lower body control. I'm going to do the same thing. Kick, back fist, catch this, and look, I'm going to step in. And basically, it's just a hip throw, right? If you've been doing squat jump or you've been doing, I don't know, pretty much any grappling or throwing style, you're going to have some form of a hip throw. One of the things that I feel is important is that you can push the hip across, so he makes it harder for him to come around you, right? Also, at the same time, I want to squat and do this at the same time. So I'm already in this position, and I'm able or ready to lift him. Listen to me. Right? Wants to put himself there. And right now, he's just going to focus on his feet like railroad tracks, right? Same path. He wants to in front of me. And remember, you're always looking this way. And then if he drives his hip down, and then he goes to lift, he'd put me on his back, right? So let's try it from that. So again, there's all kind of ways that you could do kicking and striking with these things, or you can do something as a counter or whatever. Again, just a fundamental way to set it up to be able to work a kick and a strike into your throat. So here, catch this, right? And look, I'm going to do kind of a stealing stance to go to the inside, And I do this with people's arms. Like a lot of people, they do something like this, they just go like this. Well, this is a great opportunity to get your arm locked, right? He says it, lock the arm out, and turn it against you. I try my best to control the arm until I can get my own hand at least to the side of his hip or toward the back, right? So I'm doing this kind of an action. I push this as I get me inside. I don't want to leave that arm just hanging and then it goes from my head or my side or locks my arm. It still can happen, but I'm just trying to avoid it. Right, so here, and step in, and again, when you do this squat right away, right, so I come over, I squat, I lift, and I pull. But look, this is really important when you're doing throws with somebody, especially throws like this. When the guy goes to land, pull him up, and pull up on him. This way he takes some of the pressure off, and if he falls wrong, right, it doesn't end up, it just takes some of that pressure, force out, right? If you had on a jacket, you would pull up on the jacket, right? In this situation, I'm going to try to pull up on the body of the person. I'll do that to him one more time, right? Here, I got this, I teed, I push my hip across, I squat, right? And then I'm going to drive up, and lift, and lift. I pull up on him on the end. I'm just trying to take some of that away. If you're getting thrown and you're new to it, when you're practicing a lot of throws, don't pull away from them. If they're trying to work with you to kind of pull your arm up, left, right? It's so you can get more throws in. And the other aspect of it too is that I'm always, even though I'm practicing to help him, in the long run, I'm also practicing being able to maintain the control to be able to do something else with the person, right? I keep that attachment. And it's something good to train, right? So he does the throw on me, he does the side kick, he does his back fist, he switches, he gets control, he pushes this through, he comes in, he lifts, and he throws me down and he pulls me up, right? He doesn't pull you up, you just fall like a rock, right? Then when I throw him, see how I pull him up, right? If he threw me, he just dropped me like a rock, right? And we want to focus on that. Do it again. Yeah, switches. He comes inside, and now when he throws me right before I hit the ground, he's going to pull up on my elbow a little bit. Right before he hits the elbow. You just draw me up a little, right? So pull me up a little. See, you kind of help the guy? Okay, so you said here before impact. Why is that important? If you're just doing a few throws like we're doing, not such a big deal, but say you're doing throws for conditioning. Right? Maybe you're going to do 100 throws, in a row. Helping to draw the person up and things like that, it can save from all of the impact. Also, too, if it's a new person and you're not using jackets, or you're using jackets, some people still throw you and drop you without pulling you up. But this way it helps the beginner. They may fall wrong or have the arm like this, and then they jam this or twist it up or something, and it's just a way to help the person. Okay. So then we got one more today of this set, and I'm going to do the same thing, just this fundamental setup: side kick, a back fist. I'm going to switch, and I can contend with this arm if we want to add it. Like he throws another punch, and I can push this across and come inside. Okay, but we're looking at bowing. And bowing, just like the lower body control, if you watch the other video, we talked about these 5 different ways to use the leg. That move there, as well as this, I can do all of these individual moves. I can do popping, I can do tripping, I can do lifting, I can block down, I can do the driving action. And that's what we're primarily focused on today. So he does the kick, switch, and if you want to do this, that's fine. You come in and look. I'm going to look up as I squat. I'm going to keep looking up, and then as I raise the legs, I'm going to look forward and down. As he does it to me. Yeah. Push it through, and then immediately, look, he looks up at an angle, right? As he's already squatted, and then as he raises the legs, he's going to look down. Okay? But, like, one thing he's doing right now that I don't want to do is, look, don't do this with your back, right? It's not a back action. Don't do that to try to lift it. Make it all in your legs, right? So when I do this, and I'm here, see? I don't round my back. And look, I'm not raising up to do it, but I'm here, see? It's all in my back. Right? So it does it to me again. Right? Looks up, and then again, he's going to use his legs and not round his back. So he pushes up from here. Yeah. And then look, if he does that, he's looking up, but as he raises the legs, he looks down at an angle. Straight down. Looks up, straight down. Right? Now, we're going to try it on the mats one time. Here. So here I am, side kick, back fist, switch. He gives me this hand or not, it's okay. And I come inside, right? I'm looking up. I have the arm here, and look, I definitely want to try to pull him up from this throw. Again, I'm not going to raise up and arc my back and put the pressure in the middle of my back. I'm going to sink, I'm looking up, and then as I raise the legs, and as I look down, I'm going to pull him over. I want to try my best to pull him up as much as I can. Listen to me.
So on this, you help me out by throwing me at an angle, right?
Yes.
How are you doing that? Instead of just dumping me straight forward.
Because when I come through this way, I'm actually twisting my core. And I'm doing that because I want you to go aerial and definitely don't want you to hit the roof. Yeah. But if I do it too slow, there's not enough momentum. You follow me? So then I'd be dragging you over me. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like splitting the difference, right? I'm trying to use this angle, and I'm trying to twist my core a little bit instead of me going directly over the top in this way.
So we'll do it. Right.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Just in your mind right now, when you do this throw, just think, look up, straighten out the legs as you look down.
Okay.
And then on the end, straighten your legs out and pull the arm up. You can do any part of that, that's great. The big thing is if you're practicing this throw, or we'll say, I call these big wheel throws, because it's the same throw, right? You can do this and kick the guy's leg out. Jonathan's about 60 pounds bigger than me, somewhere between 50 and 60. I probably wouldn't do leg lifting. You know, I mean, maybe, but it would be a lot, right? I have to support me, plus I have to support Jonathan's weight and be able to use the force to lift him over. In a lot of ways, it's easier to do things like tripping, right, or using both legs to drive him over. But the most important thing is I don't want to let go of him, right? I want to try to maintain that control, even if I can't pull him up as you're practicing or as you're learning it. Always get in that mindset. Swajao is, there's two primary approaches for, say, somebody that's orthodox doing Swajao. One would be, I'm throwing you and I'm releasing you, right? I throw you and I let you go. The other is I throw you